Everybody, how's your day? Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I was at a business meeting, and I told myself I need to post it. I'm not going to make it by noon for noon Vegas time, noon Pacific time for Daily Distinction. And we got so involved in everything, and I was out of the office at this meeting with my friend Brad Sugars, the founder and CEO of Action Coach. And we just got going, and all of a sudden it hit me. Holy cow, it's 20 after. So I apologize for not getting the message out sooner. The Daily Distinction was preempted by a business meeting yesterday. So hope everybody's doing great. Hope you'll forgive me for that. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much for being here. Hey, Mike. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Gee whiz. Yeah, Pavlov's dogs tried to find the feed. I love that. Thank you. Well, glad you're here today. Bruce, I never even thought about that. Yes, today is the launch of quarter four, and we got a great topic today to talk about to launch us into quarter four, which is mindset. Mindset. We're going to talk more about that, define that, and really examine that in our message today. Ted, I hope you're having a great Thursday. Good to see you. Cheryl, long time no see. How you? Cheryl and I were on a coaching call a little bit earlier today. Man, I've done a virtual keynote today and a coaching call. Been working on a book, so man, we're picking them up and laying them down, as they used to say in sports. Scott, it's always great seeing you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thank you for being around today. I want to mention, too, of course, you knew I was going to, talking about the Distinction Summit coming up. It's 16 days away. Oh, my gosh. Practically on top of it. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow, in fact. The Distinction Summit kicks off. And as a matter of fact, if you're a VIP member, it's 2 weeks from tonight, because we're going to have a virtual cocktail party to kick it off. So if you're a VIP member, then that's coming 2 weeks from tonight. So now is the time to jump in here. If you haven't already, go to distinctionsummit.com. You get $100 off with the code DISTINCT2020. We had a VIP sign up, as a matter of fact, right before I came on today, thanks to Jeb Bell. And as we mentioned earlier, we got special guests for the Distinction Summit. I need to update this. Sage Steele, Glenn Morshower, Larry Wingett, Mark Sanborn, Joe Calloway, all going to be a part of it. Got an exciting lineup for you. So come join us. Distinction Summit starts, if you're VIPs, 2 weeks from tonight. So now is the time to jump in here. All right. So hope to see you at the Distinction Summit. Okay. So we've heard many times, there's many motivational speakers that talk about the important line that your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. And as you know, what that means is that if you have a bad attitude, your altitude in life is going to be low. If you have a good attitude, your altitude, your ceiling is much higher. So that's the line that we've heard a lot. But one of the lines, one of the phrases I've been hearing a lot here lately is about mindset. And that's the question for today. What is your mindset? So how does attitude play into mindset? And are they the same thing? That's part of it. Yes, Scott, what a lineup, huh? It's going to be, and I've still got a couple more to announce as well. These are old glasses. In fact, Cheryl, I have 3 pair of glasses that I kind of alternate between, and these are the oldest of the 3 and haven't worn them very much. But thanks for noticing. It kind of goes in with a black. I was giving the keynote today with black shirt, and see, I got my suit jacket on back here and all that. So what is your mindset? So I found this definition, and I think this is a really important definition to help us understand where we're going here. And that is, your mindset is a set, right? So it's not just one. It's the set of assumptions or methods or notions. I would add, or attitudes. A mindset can also be seen as arising out of a person's worldview or, and I think this is the important one, your philosophy of life. So I ask a question again. What's your mindset? And I think if we get into it, there are basically two primary mindsets. The first one is a scarcity mindset. Now, both these mindsets are valid. There's one that I prefer over the other, but this is a valid mindset. The scarcity mindset seems to think that there's only so much to go around. And you may get your share or you may not get your share because somebody else is getting your share. You know, it is that there's only so much around. My buddy Carl Hurley, humorous speaker, used to say there's only so much weight in the world, because you ever notice when somebody lose weight, somebody else put on some pounds, so we don't lose weight, we just transfer it to somebody else. The scarcity mindset would be that there's a limited amount of achievement available. There's a limited amount of, and I would imagine not too many people with a scarcity mindset are signing up for the Distinction Summit, for example, because if you think I take that back, because there might be some folks that say, hey, there's only so much to go around, so I better be distinct so I can grab mine, as opposed to you getting yours, right? I think that the scarcity mindset also seems to think that if someone else gets rich, it has to be at the expense of someone else being poor. With me on that? Not trying to be political about that, but understand how that thought is. In other words, that if you get wealthy, it must be because the scarcity mindset would be that must mean that other people have to be poor, because it says that there's only so much available. Jerry, got to keep flying high. Yeah, exactly. The mindset's toward the higher altitude. I love it. Smoke-filled air today. Oh gosh, Charles, man, oh man. Hey, Pamela, great to see you here today. I see you on the Ken and Glenn show. Really glad you're here today. Riots are from a super small portion of the population, and it's when we have that mindset of scarcity. Not only is it that that if you get something, it must mean that you're taking it from me. It also means that we really try to protect. I've got a sweet dog, but boy, you better not try to take food away from her. Right? Everybody else have a dog like that? Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. That's the scarcity. That's the scarcity mindset. Charles, yeah, it's about the pie, right? And the founder of the National Speakers Association was a speaker named Cavett Robert. Matter of fact, the member of the Year Award every year is called the Cavett. And Cavett had this philosophy that he talked about, and this is back in the 1970s, and he talked about the pie, and at that time in the speaking industry, they viewed that if I booked a speech, it must have taken it away from your calendar. And Cavett's whole thing was about, what we really need to do is stop arguing about dividing the pie and grow a bigger pie, which is in fact the other mindset, which is the abundance mindset. It's that my success is not related to your success or achievement, that we can all grow and we can all get better and we can all enhance our lives and our ability and our talents. One of the things that it reminds me of is back in, I'm trying to think, it probably would have been about the 1980s. The thought was that when computers came out, it was going to replace so many people in their jobs. Now, I'm not saying that that didn't happen, that certain people lost their jobs because of automation. But what was totally underestimated was how many jobs this new revolution in computing would create. So the scarcity mindset was this technology will put all these people out of work. The abundance mentality is the people might lose their jobs in this industry, but if we look at it from a whole, we're creating more jobs. There's going to be more people working. I mean, haven't we seen that with industrial revolution, right? The industrial revolution, now the knowledge revolution comes along, and we think that, oh, well, look at all these jobs that we've lost. Yet more people are working than ever before. So it's finding a way to grow the pie. Yeah, exactly. Charles, the abundance mindset is we bake a bigger pie. We figure out how to grow. So what do you believe in terms of that? And I think sometimes it's easy during a time of pandemic, during a time of bad news, during a time of political upheaval, during a time of all the things that we've been seeing around us. I think it's really easy to slip into the scarcity mindset, not realizing it. Because we may say that we have an abundance mentality, but our actions show a scarcity one. With me on that? In other words, what can happen is we can say to ourselves, I have an abundance mentality. I believe in that. But yet we don't invest in ourselves. And we don't invest in our future. And we don't encourage others. You know, one of the things that was a hard lesson for me to learn is that it's a lot easier to tell somebody that you want to see them succeed than it is sometimes to see them succeed more than you have. Probably all of us here have lost friends who said, man, I want to see you make it. And then you start making it, and all of a sudden they're not around as much anymore. And that's one of the challenges. Is it's easy to say we've got the abundance mindset. It's harder during a time of challenge and difficulty to actually display it. Display it not by showing it to others, but display it through our actions, as we know the actions speak louder than the words. Randall, you knew this was coming, right? As soon as you saw the comment about pie, you knew I would immediately go to build a bigger pie. Yep, exactly. That was very predictable. So the purpose of today is just to kind of get us thinking about it. Just to get us thinking about it is not only our mindset, but our action set. Right now, is your action set based on scarcity, or is it based on abundance? Because it's not what we think that makes the difference to us as much as it is what we do that makes the difference to us. Hey, look, I know I'm preaching to the choir, because if you didn't have a good attitude and if you didn't have an abundance mindset, you don't spend time every day watching this, right? But I think we all need that message every once in a while. We all need that little kick in the seat of the pants. We all need that little uplifting that's going to remind us and encourage us. Man, I'll tell you, I'm saying it as much to remind myself of the importance of it as I am. You know, everybody's business has changed. I mean, from real estate to coaching to on and on and on. The folks that are here right now that I know, I mean, our businesses have changed. I did a virtual speech to 250 financial advisors this morning, and I'm sitting in this chair where before this event was going to be in San Francisco. You know, so our worlds have changed, and it gets very easy for us to keep saying the same thing, but doing something dramatically different in terms of how we invest our time, our resources, our effort. So let's be abundant. Let's find ways to demonstrate the abundance. Yeah, that hard look in the mirror at your words and your actions. Exactly right, Jerry. That is exactly right. So my challenge to you and to me is to abandon a scarcity mindset and look at life with greater and more meaningful abundance. Hey, it's always great being with you. I look forward to checking in with you again tomorrow. Same time. Look forward to seeing you then on our next Daily Distinction.